What is up, guys? My name is Hammy, and welcome to the Hey Hammy podcast. This is the seventh episode. Somewhere there.
How the fuck do you not know which episode?
You know what? I think that shouldn't even be part of the intro, right? Let's just welcome to the Hey Hammy podcast. Right? What's the point of me saying which episode we're at? Okay. Today, the topic that we're going to be talking about is gratefulness.
Gratefulness.
We're joking so much about it, even though it's like quite not a serious topic.
It's
but
not
like
a serious
it's a genuine.
but it's deep. You know.
It's deep. I think it's actually my assignment. I did an assignment there was this assignment where it's called video project, and I basically had to do a short documentary. So I decided to do like a documentary about gratefulness. So it's called Gratitude. I'll probably upload it on YouTube one day, just to show people like
what it was all about.
Yeah, what it's all about. Yeah, just to make sense.
I like it.
But I think we'll start with like just gratitude in terms of like first moving out.
Okay.
Yeah, because as someone who grew up in Singapore, right, the economy doesn't necessarily allow you to like move out.
Yeah.
So this is the first time I'm moving out, and I'm already in a different country, and I can't. I mean, you can still contact your parents.
Yeah.
But you're like really alone, and like that's where you really like shit.
Yeah, your moving out is like moving out. Fuck.
Yeah.
You didn't go like 2 suburbs across. you flew over the fucking international waters, bro.
Yeah. You literally flew over the international waters, right?
God damn.
I think we will start with like importance of family, because when I first came here, what I think the main issue was a lot of international students, when they first come here, right, they would have like their parents come over and like help them move, and like just seeing how your kid is like about to settle down in the new country,
what
right?
type of life they're about to like start.
Yeah,
living.
exactly. They'd want to see like the school at least as well. Right?
Like where's this guy going every day to study? That's fair. Yeah, of course.
Like where's this asshole who's like, Mom, I want to go for international study.
What the fuck was that?
Mom, I want to go for international study. Oh, I fucking raised you, and then now you want to get out of the country. So you want to see where your kid is going to, right?
Yeah, true.
But I think mine. Definitely some of you international students would understand where I'm coming from, but like mine was a little bit unique, where like my parents didn't come over and they haven't come over. I finished my degree and they still haven't come over, so they're coming soon, hopefully. All right, no, they are coming soon.
Yeah,
but seeing that within my roommate, and then seeing that with my other friends, but that I don't think I was depressed, but it was definitely very like
it kind of put you in a more like lonesome spot, maybe?
I guess lonesome spot, and like to be able like what's the word I'm looking for, like I had to find my own, literally like my own bed, my own
you had
it's those things where like you have no experience in, and it's actually easy, but like if you have no experience, you realize like how much
you're dependent, how much like you need help with like stuff. I mean, it's not you're not like, no one's going, like, if you know, when you're living with your family, especially younger age, right? You're not going out fucking mattress shopping.
Yeah.
Like your dad's doing that for you.
Yeah, and that's something like I feel like your parents are like, I don't know. I was about to imitate like your parents. Okay, let's do my parents, alright?
Okay,
they'll be
let's see your parents.
Like I'm always fine. Okay, the thing about it, I'm always fine sleeping on the floor. I don't know why. Like I like it.
Yeah?
Like just having a mattress on the bed.
I respect that.
Why am I saying having a mattress on the floor? It's good for me. But like my mom was like adamant on like getting a fucking bed for me, like a frame.
Yeah, like
right?
a bed frame. Yeah.
So like something like that. And like changing your bed sheets, and like let's find some bed sheets, and like I don't think about these kind of things, you know, like, and then
but
she'll
they're
start
just
to
there.
They're just there.
That's not something you have to worry about. Yeah.
Or like no, it's something. Oh yeah, towels. Like towels just existed. I just felt like
towels. I hate towels.
Like it just existed. Do you know what I mean? And then now, like when I'm going overseas, I'm like, wait, what do I need? Oh wait, I need bed sheets. I need towels. I need a table. I need a pan.
You need fucking chairs, baby.
Yeah, I need chairs. Like, I need to buy chairs. Like, and then we ended up like getting this free table chair thing. That's why you can hear the squeak. Like, excuse us for the squeak, by the way. It is going to be prominent.
Oh,
but it's just gonna be like,
baby, let's go.
Yeah. So those are the kind of things where I'm like, oh my God. Like, I definitely took them for granted because it's not to say that like the bed sheets aren't important or anything like that, but like,
Right.
I just wouldn't care too much.
Exactly. Yeah, I
And
get
they
that.
cared about it, and like it made my life so much easier. So that was, I think, a weird transition for me to come over to Australia to like move out.
Yeah,
You know
fucking
what I mean?
furniture, am I right?
Yeah, furniture's, just all the furniture stuff at home is just weird to like.
Yeah, I mean, because like
yeah.
as a kid, your furniture is just there. It's not.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
You would think, like coming into an empty house, you're like,
where the fuck is
yeah.
everything?
yeah. It's definitely very weird. With that as well, it comes with money, right? And then you start to realize like, how expensive is this shit? You know, like when you grew up, I don't know about you, but like you can tell your parents like, oh, we should change the couch. Like it's getting old.
No,
or like
trust,
the TV is getting old, and then they're like, nah,
Oh
we
my
don't
god,
have to.
the fucking no, trust me, I know. We've actually changed sofas quite a bit. Yeah, we've changed. My household has gone through its fair share of sofas. Not because they've been like degraded or gone bad or anything. Just my mom didn't like how they looked. So she was like, nope, we're getting another fucking sofa. And I always grew like emotionally attached to these sofas,
Emotionally
right?
attached to the sofa.
Because like I'd find the sweet spot, right?
Okay.
And then like every time they fucking changed the sofa.
yeah, fucking Sheldon.
Yeah, I'd have
spot.
to fucking find a new sweet spot. But we still have our television it's not a what's it called? It's not a flat screen or every house I've gone to in like the last fucking 5 years has a flat screen.
Yeah.
Right? We don't have a flat screen. We have a fucking like goddamn fucking LG bloody fucking 2009 fucking model television that's just like fucking outdated. It doesn't have like it's not smart either. It just has like the broadcast channels and then you have to plug in HDMI for like your like setup boxes and shit. Yeah. So I've been telling Dad for like ages, just fucking get a new fucking TV.
Yeah. And it's weird, right? Because like now that I've moved out, I don't want to buy a TV because I'm like, why should I buy a TV? I'm just gonna watch everything on my laptop or my phone.
Yeah.
And like it's just a waste of money. So like I don't know, the level of gratitude that I have towards my parents, especially like in terms of how much they spend on you and like the things that they would be willing to do. I don't know, it's mind blowing when you actually first move out.
Yeah. See, I haven't had that experience.
Yeah, you're gonna feel it soon.
I still live with my parents. You say soon, right? But my parents are like, nah.
You're not getting out.
You said before.
I'll take my chappal again.
See, you said before that like, oh, I raised you for like 18 years and now you're gonna leave me, right?
Yeah,
right. That's the thing. Like sorry, I shouldn't specify it to like white people, but a lot of like, I guess the Western people, like, right, more Western brought up people, like parents will be like, oh, like when are you moving out, right? Like when are you moving out, right? It's not even like if you're moving out. It's like when are you leaving? When are you leaving the fucking house? Like get out of here, right? For Indians, I know only because I know, right? Indians, brother, it's like I remember I had a conversation with my dad. I was like, "Oh, Dad, what age do you think I should move out of the house?" And he was like, "Huh? Move out? Move out? What do you mean move out? What is move out? What do you mean move out?" Right? And my mom came in and she was like, "Move out? What do you mean move out?" Right? And so I was like, "Oh, like I'll leave the house at some point." And they're like, No, you're not. No, you're not. You're fucking, I raised you for 18 years. You're fucking staying here for the rest of your fucking life. Nah, not the rest. I mean, obviously they've been, yeah, right. So I don't think I'll be moving out for a while.
Yeah.
But also, I'm just lucky, I have my house here. I have my family here, so it's chill.
Talking about like that gratitude as well, I think I recently talked to my dad about it, about this whole thing.
Yeah.
And then he reminded me of like, you have to remember, like, we also allow you, because two things, like I'm going overseas with a friend and they got to meet him and like they got to meet the parents and everything, right? But also there's phones. So let's talk a little bit about the gratitude towards like just technology, right?
Yeah, true.
He's like, you're moving and like we're still able to like give video calls. We're still able to give you money. And like money is basically instant right now, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like that thing, and like he reminded me of like, and I asked him the same thing, like, how was it like when you moved out? And then he was like, "Uncle, when I moved out, like, I can't even call your mom, like my grandma." And he's like, "I remember moving out and just like wanting to ask your mom about something, but you only have your phone home." Like the home phone,
the landline phone.
It's so weird that we're calling that outdated, right?
Yeah.
Like no one uses like a landline phone anymore. Like it's ridiculous, but it was just like 10 years ago. Like that was still, I still have it in Singapore, but like for like our generation, even 50 years old, I feel like at 50 you still don't use it. By the time you hit like I feel like 70, like grandparents, then they still have it.
Yeah,
but like my parents don't use it anymore. Then it's like we forget how people used to just call.
Right. And people used to call like households.
Yeah.
Right? Like a house.
Yeah. And
like
it didn't matter like what time. Like now we have phones like literally in the palm of our hands.
Yeah, literally.
Right? Literally in the palm of our hands. We can call anytime, but we're scared of like, oh, what if it's busy or what if it's this? Isn't it weird? Like we're going back? Because my dad wanted to like call my grandma to like figure something out, and he's like he has to call in the middle of the day, but then maybe like my grandma is sleeping, and then the grandma calls back and he's not home. Then it's like you can't even figure things out, and then if you want to come over, it's like you are like you don't plan it, you just go to your mom's house. So like that part was like, oh shit, like I forgot how fucking blessed I am to be like overseas and still call my parents every night and still like see them, like they can still see me. It's not like if I'm calling them and they're like, oh no, I'm like out in the clubs. Oh no, he's losing everything. Like they can still physically see me like at home. Like, okay, he's at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I think we really take things for granted because even today, literally just today, where the signal, Optus is down, all right? The signal is down.
Yeah, it's like, bro, I couldn't call you. I fucking called this bitch like 2 times and you didn't pick up.
A little bit of a story time, like, because you genuinely, I forgot what's the exact quote, but like, you really forget how you take things for granted when you lose them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so today I had to pick Uday up from his place for us to record this podcast, right? And I'm like, either I meet you at the station or I go to your place. So I'm driving to your place, right?
Yeah.
And my car park, so I'm going to my car. The car park is underground, so there's no signal, so that's fine. I went out and I'm like, there's no signal still. Okay, wait. Usually I just reset my phone and it's fine.
Yeah.
Reset my phone is still SOS. I'm like, how the fuck am I going to do this? All right. I know the direction, so that's fine. But like, imagine if you don't know the direction, right? Like at this point, what are you gonna do? Like take out a literal map, like of Melbourne,
physical fucking map.
So luckily, I still know where he was, right? So I decided to go to the station, and I'm at the station. I'm like, should I just wait here? Like, there's no signal, and I'm like, oh shit. And then I went to like a random pub, and then like put in the Wi-Fi, and they're asking for like my Facebook, my email. Like, I'm like, fine, whatever.
Fuck it, I need whatever.
And then I called him, and then when I called you, like the signal isn't good, so like you're cutting off, I'm cutting off. And I'm like, what is going on? And then I had to message you, and then like I went to your place and then picked you up. And that is like...
Yeah, I had no idea when this guy was coming, by the way.
Yeah.
Because like I called him 2 times after he said he was going to leave, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't pick up. So I was like, Hammy, like, am I going to the station? You coming to my house? Or what's going on? Can you fucking pick up your phone?
Yeah. So now you know it, right? So I don't know, like, I think... this episode is also like a reminder to ourselves, like how fucking blessed we are.
I wanted to put it in perspective as well for like the international students listening, right?
Yeah, sure.
Like right now, you're let's say for specificity's sake, you're in Melbourne and you're studying here. For you can call your parents anytime you want, right? And they're gonna pick up.
Yeah.
Just imagine not having that, like no contact with your parents or the inability to contact your parents, right? Even if you deep that for a second, right? You just take it in for a second. You can actually like fuck, holy shit! Like, I called my mum yesterday because I didn't know how the fucking washing machine worked, right? Or that I missed her voice, and then not being able to do that, I think, is a good way of putting into perspective of how grateful we should be for, we can call other people when they're not next to us. Like, that's just kind of fucking.
Which is also a thing for me. Like, I always call people without a worry. Like, I can call you no matter what. But I don't know why people like don't like calls. Like people prefer texting. I'm like, just call. Like that's literally what the phone is for. Oh my god!
So sorry. The workplace that we work at, right? There's music. Obviously, there's music playing in this place. And one of the lyrics for this random ass fucking techno song was like, "Don't call, just text."
Why?
And I caught it. I was obviously doing my work, but I caught it like in the middle. Right? I was like, "What? What? Just call."
Yeah. Like what's wrong? And you know what annoys me most? I feel like most of the people who said like don't call, just text are the people who are not that busy. Do you know what I mean? They're just like, nah, I'm too cool for calling. I think fuck you.
Fuck you.
I can call you if I want to, right? That's literally what the phone was made for.
I think it's more so that people nowadays are used to having like the comfort of being able to respond at a time they feel like people. I've been told people need to get comfortable in order to reply back. Like they can't just reply back. Like even if like you're outside, right? They'll be like, "Hold on, let me get into like if you're walking down the fucking street, like, hold on, let me get home first, then I'll text."
Yeah, like why?
It's like
just reply.
Just reply.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? Excuse me. Right? Like I get it if you're busy, right? Because you can be you can be doing something. Yeah. And you know you just don't have the time, and maybe the reply is like somewhat big, whatever.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just like, call me when you can, right? And you're not doing anything, but you still won't call. You'll wait like half an hour before you fucking call back because you're not ready. Like what?
It's a weird culture right now, right?
Yeah, really weird, really fucking weird.
It's a very weird culture. I don't know why. Yeah, I still love texting. Don't get me wrong. Like I love texting, but like sometimes I feel like, just call. Like, what's wrong with it?
Yeah, it's not to say that texting is bad by any time. Like, it's just that like sometimes it's okay to call. You know, like you should like hearing another person's voice isn't bad for you. You're not gonna fucking die.
And I think people need to accept that like you can reject the call. Right? If you're busy, just reject the call. Don't be like, "Oh man, I'm busy right now. Like, don't call me too much." I'm like, just don't pick up, you son of a bitch. Like, I don't know. I've had a lot of like weird experiences with people like telling me not to call and stuff. But I'm like, that's what the phone is for. So like, I don't really. There's no other way for me to put it right.
That's what it was made for.
Yeah, exactly. So like, and like we have like WhatsApp, we have and everything. Like they still have like a call function. So just let me do my thing, brother. Yeah. So what else am I grateful for? I think mostly the preparation of like. The freeing of the mind, I feel like, because when you're at home, when I was at home, right, like food, I think you understand this, like food is like your mom makes food.
Yeah.
Or like your grandma, whoever makes food.
Yeah.
And like you don't necessarily think about it. So like even if you go to school, you come home, food is there. Or you're like, oh, what's for dinner today? Or like, what's this for today? And like the first time when I first came here, like in starting my semester, that I realized how much your mind is going, that you don't have time to like just fully concentrate on one if you're living alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like when I'm doing school, I'm thinking like, okay, what am I gonna have for breakfast? Right. And then once I'm doing like school assignments, I'm thinking like, oh shit, do I need to prepare for lunch? Yeah. And then when I go home, I'm like, I'm too tired. I'm like, I can't really do lunch. Like it's way too late. And then I like take my nap. And then I start doing assignments again. And then I go to the gym and it's like, now I have to prepare for dinner. And then, now I have to do laundry. Wait, I have to do this. And then it's like that being grateful of like just having people to support you. I feel like that was something that is the biggest thing that I learned once I moved out.
And I think like, you know what, like especially especially during my diploma when I first like met international students, right? And they would tell me about like living alone or living in like student housing and stuff, right?
Yeah.
They had to think about that stuff. Like you have to think about, I need to wash my clothes or I need to like prepare dinner, right? Because food prep takes time. That's not something that's instant, right? Of course you can have instant food.
The most important part is not the preparation, it's what are you going to make?
Yeah, true. Yeah, exactly.
Thinking like,
exactly.
What am I going to make today?
Oh, okay. And so that was like, I think that's like a really great like perspective shift between you and I, especially because you, of course, are an international student that needs to think about that stuff, whereas I have the luxury of, you know, I don't have to worry about that. Like, I get home after work and my mom will be like, okay, sit down for dinner and I'll have that food for me. Yeah. So I'm very grateful. It's could put it into perspective for me.
But I think
well.
it's important, like it's impressive that you understand that. You know, because back then I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
You've already made friends with international students who's going through this. But like when I was 19, 20, like I didn't know how good that was. All right. I didn't know how good my life was until now that I'm like here. Yes, my life is still amazing, but just like the sheer amount of things that I have to do by myself is like, yeah. It was weird.
Brother, you impressed me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the thing, right? Just living.
Yeah, just living.
Just living
yeah.
is like, that's,
yeah.
I find it impressive.
Yeah. I guess we'll transition a little bit.
Transition.
I guess we're going to like that gratefulness towards the government, right? Because we're on this topic as well. It's like, yes, life is hard for us right now. Like living alone isn't easy. Like you have to settle where's your mattress, where's your bed, what food you're doing. Like there's a lot of preparation involved, a lot of like financial issues involved. But there's also that point of view where I'm also realizing today it's like at the end of the day, everything that I'm doing is still made by someone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to like, what am I going to cook for dinner today? I'm going to like a supermarket where the meat is already there.
Yeah.
The rice is there. Everything is there. If I'm back at home and I'm like thinking I need to wash my clothes and everything, you can literally just go outside and there's like laundromats where everything is there.
Yeah.
What else?
Sorry guys, that was Hammy clapping cheeks in the background. Hammy occasionally just goes for a 2-minute break in the back. If you ever hear, just know that's Hammy going hard.
We were going in so deep.
Yeah, what were you talking about? Sorry.
Being grateful.
Being grateful. That's right.
For essentially the government, right?
Right.
Okay, wait. How like when you go home and like you think, okay, what am I gonna cook? Food is already there in the supermarket. You still just have to buy it, and then you can go home and cook.
Yeah.
Gas, fire is there. Just turn that switch. Fire is there, right? Housing, like the roof. I'm not building the house. Like it's there. Like yes, I have to work hard for it, like to get the money to pay for the house. But like it's already there.
Yeah.
Water. Bro, just
running
open the
water,
tap.
baby.
Yeah,
Let's
running
go.
water
Fresh
that's
water.
clean to drink as well.
Yeah,
That's,
and let me just add this. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Melbourne's water is so good. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, I don't know why.
Fuck me, the tap water just slaps.
right. Wow.
It's almost like, I don't know though.
Yeah.
It just like I've been to quite a few countries, and like even just clean tap water in all those countries, they just don't slap as fucking
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, Singapore has clean water as well, but I don't know why. Something about Melbourne's water is good.
It's just it's pristine, good water.
But
Taste
yeah,
it if you've ever in town.
That level up of gratefulness, I feel like was a weird realization because like I think I was watching quite a lot of like older movies and like about Prophet Muhammad, Jesus, and like I feel like it was just naturally just religious people just because that was what was going on. But if you look even further into history where like people actually had to go out to get their water. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like going to wells or like when they need food, they actually like need to like get someone that they know like, oh, can you like slaughter this meat?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like actually like go to the rice fields and like pull out. I think there was the movie The Cave, not movie, like a series The Cave, you know, like about the Thailand boys that were stuck in the cave.
Yeah, the documentary.
Yeah.
And like the series. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, the series. And like just seeing like the rice fields where like the people from Thailand, that's most of where our rice comes from, right? Thailand.
Right. Yep.
Just seeing how they actually have to like grow the crops and like pull that, and then like that's actually the food that they bring for their family.
Yeah.
And also like
Yeah, they don't go buy that in a
Yeah,
supermarket.
they don't
They have
go
to
buy that.
physically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and like I think we are so detached from the labor part of it
Yeah.
that we just essentially become spoiled in a way where like, you know, like when you grow up, you wake up, you're like, oh man, the government is making us work so hard. They're like this. But it's like, that's also the other side of like, houses are already made.
Yeah.
Roads are already made. Water is just there. The government doesn't owe you shit.
Yeah.
When you're born, Like no one owes you to give you a house.
You're not born in a barn. You're born in a fucking world class hospital.
Exactly,
in a fucking
exactly,
medical facility.
exactly. So like, I'm not saying the government is perfect, but there's also like that realization that I realized like, oh,
Yeah, I think
shit.
that's the most important part of like this, right? Is the realization of just being like understanding that you live in a place where a lot of the stuff that you get and that you have is, although you have to buy it, it's given to you. It's there. It's available. Yeah.
It's because we live in a society where like we're very detached from the actual labor. So like for example, you told me just now, your uncle stays right beside you, right?
Yeah.
And like you said, let's just build a house like on this side.
Yeah.
But when you say that, you're just paying someone to build a house.
Yeah, we're not building.
Do you know
a
what I
house.
mean?
Yeah.
And essentially, you're just like in your brain, like, okay, it's gonna be built, it's gonna be perfect. But we forget how like that is a very important big skill, and that's not easy to do.
Yeah,
Right.
and also the fact that we actually have access to someone else doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just not doing it yourself, also like the ability to pay someone to do it. And that being like done, set for you. You don't have to worry about that. Like obviously there's a lot of intricacies that go into it, but like you pay these people, they build the fucking house for you.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know.
Yeah, and they're strangers, you know, like you don't even know them.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly.
Like, okay, like build
It's
my
not
house.
like it's not like I got my fucking like 4 fucking cousin families from like I don't know 2 villages over to come over and help build this fucking house with us.
But yeah, it was a weird like just realization, you know. It also puts you in a like more. You realize like every workforce is important to make the world go round.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think the thing for me, the most blessed thing that we have is water, like just tap water, right? How it's good. And then you start to realize like, what if the water just stops? It actually did happen in my apartment. Like the water just stopped running.
Yeah.
Because there was like a leak. And the tap water was gone. Everything was gone. You could shower, but the water was very, very soft. Like it's not a lot of pressure.
Yeah, there was no pressure.
And there was an
on water,
email
right?
by my building manager, and he was like, "Everyone, please use very little water. Like, please." Like he literally was like begging in the email.
Wow.
Yeah, and like this is where I say like you only know how grateful you are until it's gone.
Yeah.
Because like at that point, let's say this happens right worldwide. Well, okay, not worldwide. Like the whole of Melbourne.
Right.
Who, at this point, let's say it's going to go on for 24 hours. Who is going to be the most important worker at this point? Right? We're not going to look at like entrepreneurs, like drop shippers, you know, like fucking people, like all the millionaires. We're not going to look for them. Everyone's going to be like, I want a plumber right now.
Exactly.
A plumber is suddenly
Yeah.
like someone that you would pay like $1 million for. Like you start to
Yeah.
realize like the world has a weird way of putting value towards people. It's only when they're important then you're like, okay, then now
Yeah,
let's
exactly.
put some
It's
more
like
money in it.
when it's a necessity.
Yeah.
Yeah. When
Yeah.
it becomes a necessity, that's when you realize like,
Yeah,
oh shit.
and necessity in the media space as well. That's the weird part because plumbers, engineers, house builders, they will never get the credit that they deserve until like there's really a problem right now.
Yeah,
because
sure.
look at the way like not all of us. I think we are pretty good with the tradies over here, but like how we view them compared to like let's say people in the media space or like I don't know like
public figures, just
public
in general,
figures or
yeah?
like
people who
retail
just-
CEOs, like that kind of thing, or like
Yeah, I got you.
Starbucks CEOs.
Yeah.
Like we don't appreciate them as much as we should. I feel
Right,
like.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's all like they also don't have as nearly much of a direct impact than like tradies do. Right?
Yeah.
Also, I want that you bring up a good point in the sense of how we view these people, right? Because this is a big thing in terms of schools here in Melbourne, Australia, right? It's like if a student is considered dumb or isn't good at his schoolwork, right? This was something I don't know much about the space right now, but I do know that when I was at school, it was like, oh, he's probably just gonna go become a tradie. Or like, oh, he's probably just gonna go fucking work in construction or some shit. that's what that was a bad thing, like considered, like if you weren't getting good grades in school and if you weren't doing like, you know, you were considered a dumb kid, that's what the option was for you. Oh, he's going to go become a fucking tradie, you know? Like that's how they were viewed. And then you're like, well, hold on a second. Not tradies, we fucking, well, we need them.
Yeah.
we can't live our lives without them.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to put that out there in the sense of how that position is viewed.
In countries like Dubai and Singapore, the tradies, quote unquote tradies, are foreigners. They're basically like from Bangladesh, India, and like it's cheap labor, right?
Cheap labor. Yep.
But I'm trying to understand in like the bigger picture of like the people who run this business, because you need more people, but you also can't necessarily afford people.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Also, it's weird. It's weird because tradie workers are actually like paid really fucking well.
In Australia, yeah.
In Australia, sorry, I should, in Australia especially, they're paid really, really well.
Yeah. I guess to end on like that grateful note, we'll go to a quote I heard from George Shanko. Shout out to George, the OG, Mr. OG Impulsive podcast.
Mr. Worldwide. Sorry.
He said something from the Bible, which basically says, if you make space in your heart for gratitude, there's no space for anxiety or depression. And I started thinking about that, and like, I was a lot more depressed, and I was like actually clinically depressed when I was back in Singapore. But I had everything. Like, I have parents, I had money, I had like everything.
You had more there than
I had more there over there than here. But like, now that I'm here, and I have to do everything by myself, I have to work, I have to do like everything, right? But I just learned to have a lot more gratefulness towards my parents and like God as a whole. I don't think I was once depressed or like lonely over here. It's just the gratitude is so like, I didn't even realize like how that worked. And like now thinking about it, when you're so grateful for what you have, it's almost impossible. It's literally impossible for you to be depressed. Because how can you be depressed if you know that that water is amazing? Like you're just so grateful for like tap water.
Yeah. See, that's just a realization that a lot of people they don't get to it. They just never reach that point.
Yeah. And I start to like when I talk, because I've went through that dark phase, right? So people naturally talk to me about these things as well. And then when people tell me like, oh, sometimes I get like very sad, like sometimes I get very depressed. And then I realize they're like, to an extent, yes, I accept that you are depressed, you are sad, but that also means that you're not grateful for where you are at yet. Obviously, it's very situational, right?
Right.
If people
that must
like,
be prefaced that that is very situational.
Yeah. Right. Let's go through like two different ways. Let's do the let's do it in the Andrew Tate manner.
Okay.
And then let's do it in the situational manner.
I bet.
Andrew Tate manner. Let me get into my zone. I don't have my sunglasses. All right. Oh, it's fine. All right. When people tell me they're fucking depressed, right? It's like, bruv, you have a house. You have a house. You have parents. They cook for you. Shut the fuck up. Like, what's there? What's there to be depressed about? Like, you have your whole life. Your whole life is waiting for you. Like, people are like 19, they're 20, they're telling me like, oh, I'm depressed. I'm at home. I don't have this. I'm like, dude, your mom cooks for you.
Dude, you go home. You have a fucking bed to lie on.
Yeah, you have a house. You have a roof over your head. Huh? Do you think
have a laptop that wasn't bought by you?
Yeah, exactly. Huh? You have a phone. You can call me. You can call me. You know, you can use WhatsApp.
Your data plan isn't paid by for you. Your fucking parents buy for that shit, bitch.
You proved my point. You proved my point. Exactly. And they're complaining about like, oh, like I can't buy enough makeup. I can't buy enough this. Like, shut the fuck up. Do you know what I mean? It's like when you're depressed or like when you're sad, you tell me you're depressed. I'm like, you're not depressed. You're just lazy. All right? You're just lazy and you're fucking ungrateful. All right? So start from there. I feel like people who are going through that shit and like where people start to like, you also have to remember most people who talk to me like this, they want to get out of that place. And they always tell me like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm kind of lazy to go to the gym. I'm like, I don't really know why I'm sad. Or like, I don't know. I'm just kind of depressed. Like, I'm working, but like, what can I really do? Like, I'm not rich. I'm not a millionaire. I'm like, dude, you have the answer. Just go to the fucking gym and like stop complaining. And then they'll be telling me like, but I need someone to like motivate me. But I like don't know. And I'm like, just do 5 minutes a day, man. You'll be fine. I don't know, like, but I'm shy. Then what the fuck do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you want to, like, people who want to work out and like want to get their lives better and get out of that depression zone, and then I tell them, do 5 push-ups now. Like, what's stopping? Literally in front of me right now. What is stopping you? And then they still won't do it. I'm like, you prove my point. You're just a lazy asshole that just won't get up. Exactly. And you won't, there's that ego in you that just won't like let go, that you have to let go of this ego.
Yeah, that you need to start somewhere.
Yeah, you need to start somewhere.
Yeah.
People make that mistake of like, once I start, I have to go all in. Like, no, you're gonna make mistakes.
Yeah. People forget about that. People forget that you can't start. You have to start at 0.
Yeah.
You can't start at 10
starting is the hardest
or 20.
thing. Yeah.
You need to build your way up to whatever you see online. Like those people, they've started from 0 ages ago, like long ago, right? You're seeing them at a stage where they've fought their battles and they're at a good spot, right? You can't skip all the hard shit and just go to that, right? You have to start somewhere.
Yeah. And what I've realized in life, especially right now, is like starting is always the hardest part. It's just starting and then being consistent, but people don't want to make that jump.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're afraid people will judge them as well. You know, like when you first start, you're going to make a lot of mistakes and people will be like, why are you working out? Or like, what are you doing? And in no way am I trying to brag at this point, because at this point I've worked out for like 4 or 5 years, right? Mm-hmm. And people have been like saying like, you have like a nice body, or you have nice arms and that kind of thing. But the people who grew up with me, who saw that starting phase, a lot of them like made fun of me.
Yeah.
A lot of them. And I started with just 5 minutes at home. That's it.
Yeah.
5 minutes at home. That's all I did. 5 minutes at home. And then I did that for like probably 3 months. And then the next 6 months, I started like doing weights at home by myself, just because I was like too shy and like I was afraid.
Yeah.
And when I was doing it, I realized now everything that I did was wrong. For like a whole year of working out, everything was wrong.
Everything was wrong. Yeah,
everything was wrong. So like I'll be doing like triceps and I'm like, this is shoulders, bro. And I'll be doing shoulders and I'm like, this is my back. And I'm like, everything was wrong, right?
Everything.
But you have to start. And like, I don't know, with this, I think in this era it's very weird of like, we're all looking for instant gratification. And people are always like telling me like, how can I get this fast? Or like, what do I have to eat? Or like, once you start working out, then I have to have a healthy lifestyle. It's like, no, like I'm working out, but there's also days where like I eat pizza. Like I do normal stuff. I'm still a normal human being. I still want to eat. Yeah. You know, I think in reality, for a lot of people who think they are depressed in life, they're not. They're genuinely not. They're just not grateful for where they are, and they don't want to start. Yeah. It's something that you would hate to listen to. Yeah. Like you would hate hearing it on a podcast because it's said and said and said again. Yep. But as someone who has, because I'm not like this in real life. You know this.
Yes,
like,
of course.
In real life, obviously it's situational. If someone's like genuinely asking me for help, obviously I'm gonna give you like the right tips.
Hammy is not a dickhead, guys. Trust me, he's a very lovely gentleman.
Yeah.
But he's also no bullshit. Yeah. So to all you fuckers out there listening, get your asses up.
Exactly. So like, if you genuinely are looking for help, you have to start with yourself. Yeah. Yeah. You just have to start with yourself.
Yeah. And it's not easy. It is not easy.
Yeah. And starting is always the hardest part.
It's understandable that it's not easy, but at the end of the day, no one else can make you take that jump. Yeah. Everyone can say, and you can listen to us, you can listen to anyone else on the internet say it 1,000 times over that you have to be the one to take the jump, right? And that it kind of just turns into mush in your head. You don't really listen to the words, but that's the reality. The only one who's going to take that first step is you. No one's going to push you for it. No one's going to actually do it for you. You have to do it. So, fucking do it.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, it's. The reality is a lot of people can do it, and when they ask me for help and I tell them that they just have to start and they don't do it and they're not grateful and they're like still in that like phase of depressed state, I don't believe it. I just don't believe it because you're genuinely all right. You just have to take that first step. But a lot of people don't. So that's just the reality of most of the people that I see out there.
Most of the people.
So that's also the other side where we're like a little bit more, now it's situational, right?
Right.
If you genuinely like, I see someone, you can see it, bro. So, I mean, not necessarily see, but like sometimes you just never know still. But like for the most part, when like someone's like asking you like, I don't know, man, like my mom is like this, like she's in the hospital and then like this, and then maybe I don't have a dad, and then like the house problem is hard. I don't have the energy to do things. Obviously, like then that's proper, proper depressed. That's like a whole different situation where I'm like, okay, start from here, do this, and then like, I know you have a lot of problems going on in your life, but still there has to be something that you're grateful for. No matter how bad life gets, there's still something. There's always something to be grateful for. You start from somewhere, and I think most of, our demographic, right, the people that international students, Melbourneian students, right? Most of us, I would say 90% of us are in a good place. You have a house, maybe you have parents, but like you have someone taking care of you.
Right.
And then once you start to realize like, okay, I have this, I have that, then you can start moving forward from there. Yeah. I don't really know what else to say about that part because I'm not a professional.
Yeah, neither.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, me and Hammy are not professionals. Please do not
just
take
a
our word.
Yeah, because the point of this whole episode is just a
it's
reminder.
to insult you guys. It's to say a big fuck you. That's
So all you fucking fake depressed bitches now. I've been there. You've
been there, done that.
Yeah, like it's just a reminder to everyone out there to like start from a level of gratitude, and it's also a reminder to us doing this episode, like to be ever so grateful for where we are. Even doing this podcast, man. Like doing this podcast means we are very, very. What's the word I'm looking for? We are living in luxury, all right?
Yeah, like fucking...
Yeah. Doing this podcast,
I've got a fucking mic, bro.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn, son, I'm wearing headphones.
Yeah.
How have you bought new headphones? Fucking hell, man. Like, come on. This is... Okay, you know, it's not the most glamorous studio, but fuck me, we've got shit. You're hearing my crisp, wonderful audio in such good quality.
Yeah.
Because of this mic.
Yeah, exactly. We're starting from that point, and I think no matter where you are, there's always a point of being grateful. And I think if the whole world was more grateful for where they're at, I think we would be in a better place overall, and people would just be happy overall.
Yeah.
And there'll be less like going into workplaces where you'll be like, small thing before we go. Like when you're actually grateful for everyone working, when you go to like retail stores or like when you go to like supermarkets and then there's no size for you, you won't be like, oh, can you check the back? Oh, I swear there's more sizes at home. Like, oh, I know you have more stock. Like, you won't be a bitch like that because like you appreciate the people. Do you know what I mean? Don't be that dick, all right? Yeah. Don't be that dick. Be like, oh, like, can you check the back? Like, shut the fuck up, all right?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like, I saw people at Kmart. Can you imagine going to Kmart and be like, do you have like more stock in the back? Like, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, Kmart is like wholesale. Just, if it's out of stock, just shut up. Just move forward. Like, don't make life harder for the people working there. Just move on. It's fine.
Like, yeah. It's like, fuck, even just like 2 days ago, Woolies, fucking Woolworths. Fucking dude was like arguing the price of the fucking bananas or some shit. Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
This motherfucker did not price the bananas, bro.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, he didn't. He's standing there behind the desk scanning your items so that he can bill you. He's not the one setting the prices for your damn bananas. If your damn bananas are too fucking expensive, okay, don't buy the damn bananas. It's not that hard. Stop screaming your fucking head off at this poor girl who doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
But that brings to the point where like when you're not grateful, you just don't realize like, and we're so detached from the labor. You don't know who's working for what?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you start, people are just working part-time. That's it. We don't give a shit. We don't set the prices. And like Woolworth and like Coles are like by the government. So like, what?
Oh my God. Discounts. Fucking
What's with the discount?
begging for discounts, right? It's like, can't you like do a little something for me, please? It's like, any discount on this one? It's like, man, I've given. It's like they want to create a new option, right?
Yeah.
It's like, here's what I can offer you, and here's what I have the power to do, right? You're asking me to fucking give you a 75% discount, all right? I can't do that. I'm sorry. I know that you want this $100 piece of clothing for $10, but that's not realistic.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry that you can't do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just I'm kind of blabbering on here, but it's just.
But that's the thing as well, right? In retail, when people ask for so much discount, I'm like, dude, do you realize that them as a retail company, they're providing you the service of giving you clothes.
Right.
So if you're buying clothes for someone, I always put it to people like, we're going to go on a little bit longer here, but if you're looking at a company, I think you just have to realize, like, imagine you're buying clothes from your friend. Your friend made this like t-shirt that's really, really cool, right? He made it for you. Like, it's for the purpose of people to wear it.
Right.
And then you go up to him like, oh, I want to buy it. Cool. Can I buy it for like 10% off? You're like, I literally made this for you. Can you like stop being a dick and just like take it first? Yeah. We have to start somewhere, all right? The discount comes later when like maybe after you buy a lot and like you made a relationship with me or like something.
That's also the whole point of like becoming a member at these places.
Yeah.
Like that's what it's there for.
Exactly. And it's not like you're gonna get discounts every day. Like just wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think we covered almost everything that I wanted to say for this episode, and to end it off in a slightly serious note, I hope everyone genuinely have a higher level of gratitude today, or like reflect after this episode and being like, just look around you. What are you grateful for? And start from there. And I think you will really, really appreciate life a lot more and just not be as depressed, as anxious as you usually are. And that's it for today's episode. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Fucking clapping shakes, you dick. Thank you, dudes.